Are you back on East Coast time yet?
No,
Like, was
no.
it weird for you?
We
Right.
got
I mean, it
home.
was hard for me to wake up this morning. Right. I'm totally on
Oh,
West
it was,
Coast time, so my clock is
yeah.
messed up.
No, we got home last night at 1 o'clock, and I was fine. I was like, I'm not tired. It's 10 o'clock. What am I going to do? I did a little copy paste snarky comment, although I don't think there was any snarky comment in the story I posted last night, and did some other things, started to unpack a little bit, and finally went to bed at 2 o'clock. So, and I thought, and I wasn't even thinking I got to get up in 4.5 hours. I'm just thinking I'm tired. It's time to go to bed. I'm getting up at
Right.
6:30. It doesn't feel like 2, but it feels like 3:30. That was the problem. And yes, it was hard to get up this morning. And then the other thing that was difficult because all week long last week we were just in a different rhythm, a different routine. I'd leave my hotel room a good hour before the show started. I had my time worked out. And so we slipped back into, at least for me, get in the shower at 6:40-ish, go through the whole routine, shave, dry the hair, attach the toupee, come up here. And at one point, I looked at my clock, and it's like, I'm kind of off a little bit here. It's 6:52, and I'm at about 6:47 on my usual routine, so I really had to accelerate things. So, yeah, it's an adjustment. It's great to be home, but it's an adjustment after being in Las Vegas for, I've been saying 8 days. It was really 9 days. It's a long time to be
Right.
away from home. But I do love Las Vegas. I do love Las Vegas. My wife said last night there's no reason to go back until there's another Super Bowl. And I said, I don't know that I agree with that. I could go back there and spend some time and some
I
money.
agree. I don't want 9 days, right? You're not supposed to spend 9 days in Vegas. That's for sure. But it was a lot of fun. It was a great Super Bowl host city. It was. I mean, the hotels, the setup, it's made for the Super Bowl. And I'm with you. Like, it was cool to be back, and maybe I will go back before the next Super Bowl. I had a lot of fun as well, but I, like you, I think had the same thought. We talked about it a little yesterday. I mean, Vegas, that seems like a slam dunk to be in the regular rotation with LA, New Orleans, Miami, Arizona as kind of the staples for the Super Bowl host cities. And I think it proved to really be the perfect spot. The stadium was amazing. We didn't even talk about that. That was my first time in Allegiant Stadium. I was really impressed with the setup and how everything was there in Vegas.
I was surprised, though, that it only held 61,000 for the Super Bowl. But as you said yesterday, with some of those suites upwards of $5 million, they still made their profit margin. And it reminds me of something that, I've heard from folks who make a lot of money off of owning stadiums. There isn't a whole lot of margin in the usual upper deck at a stadium for a regular season game.
Right.
You got a lot of expense, not a lot of revenue. Not like the revenue that you have in the lower level and in the suite level. And the revenue is all that mattered on Sunday. And there was plenty of revenue from those tickets for the NFL. And also the NFL's got its finger in the pot when the official reseller moves the ticket from one to the next. They get a little here, they get a little there. They make money off the transaction. So there was a lot of money to be made by the NFL in Las Vegas, a lot of money to be made by the casinos in Las Vegas. But I also saw this last night. Apparently, the casinos didn't love having the Super Bowl there because it scared away the usual whales. And whale is just the
Oh,
the the, the fancy term for the folks who just piss money away and have no qualms about it. You're used to your routine like we are. You go to your spot in the casino. You go with all your money. You spend, you spend, you spend. And now you're there and there's all these yahoos like me that don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. I got in trouble at the craps table on Sunday. Got a little trouble.
what'd you
I
do?
viol- I violated I violated craps table etiquette. Well, I I had time to kill before I got on the bus to go to the Super Bowl because usually what I do is I ride with my wife to the game and then I find the media entrance, which is always a big ordeal. Based on the email they sent out to the media for this year's Super Bowl, they said it's imperative that you ride the bus from Mandalay Bay to the game. And I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to be able to walk in then. That they're going to have it set up where you can't just wander around and find the media gate and go in. It turns out I could have, but I decided to go
course.
back to Mandalay Bay. My wife went separately with Larry Mazza, who I think you've met, and he takes a group there every year. She went with him, and I went back to Mandalay Bay, and I had some time to kill before the bus left. And I was up 300, if you recall correctly, from when we gambled last Monday night. So I went to play blackjack first, $200 a hand. I sat down. It's too late to get up. Once you sit down, you can't get up. I sat down. It's $200 a hand. Well, I got $300 to gamble. What the hell? I'll play a hand of blackjack. And, of course, I get frickin' 16. What do you do on 16? I'll make the dealer hit. And the dealer ended up with 18. 200 gone like that. So then I had 100. And I went back to the craps table where we won. And I'm holding my bag. I got my bag with my computer in it, getting ready to go cover the Super Bowl. It's like, this is great. I'm going to play some craps. I got some time to kill. And I'm holding my bag in one hand. And like after the first roll, when it crapped out, it came to me. They pushed the dice to me. So I picked up 2 dice. And I said, well, I got to put my bag down for this. So I removed the dice from the field of vision of the croupiers as I put the bag down.
What?
Yeah. So I had no idea.
Gosh.
I had no idea.
And you put in your own magic dice and took over the casino. What'd you do?
I put in my own magic dice. I pulled the 2 dice away, and as I put the bag down, I slipped the 2 dice into my pocket, and I activated the secret little compartment in my jacket, which caused 2 identical dice to come down to my hand, and I made $20,000 in 10 minutes. No, the guy pushed more dice to me, and I'm like, I got dice. No, you got to take new ones. We got to always have our eyes on the dice. And the one guy next to me was nice, and he's like, hey, it's no big deal. I mean, we know you're not going to cheat. It's just, we just have to do it. So my dad would have been very upset with me. My dad would have been upset with me for breaching the rules of the craps table. And then I started to win some, and like always, I got a little reckless, and it was all gone. So 300 I made last Monday on Super Bowl Sunday was gone. But it just pissed me off. That's the thing. Losing the 300 hurt me more than winning it in the first place, which is why I will never, ever have any issues with gambling, because I remember losing the 300 I made far more than I remember the 300 that we won last Monday night.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have a problem either. You're right. It hurts me. I don't know how some of my friends could do it. It'd be numb to just, I lost this, I lost that, or just the sheer excitement of it and the gambling aspect of it. It's I'm always amazed by the people and my friends that can do it on a consistent basis, because I can't. It's a once in a while thing, and I think the one day we did it was the only time I really gambled. The rest of the week, I never got into it again, just being busy and friends in town and all that. But I did want one more shot at the craps table for sure.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.